So I want to just probably wrap up pretty quickly here. I don't want to keep you all day and everything, but you're with NPO. And tell us a little bit more, again, what NPO does and who you're looking for, like who you can help and what you do to try to create situations that will help people out. And also give your names once again, too, so that everybody knows if they need to contact you, they can do so.
Absolutely.
So, Diego, go ahead and go first.
My name is Diego Villasenor. I am the legislative liaison for the National Parents Organization of Texas. And our organization, we have 35 chapters throughout the United States. And we try to successfully advocate for 50-50 shared parenting, maximizing the amount of time that the child has with each parent. And we have been successful in supporting legislation passed in other states, and that's what we're all. That's what we're about. We're here for the best interest of the children, and we do that by actually with the research. It's unbiased research. People will say, "Oh, well, they're just opinion editorials." They're not. These are empirical studies.
And my understanding is in Kentucky, for example, divorces went down. Conflict went down, abuse went down, all sorts of things went down. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Absolutely correct. We have data sets that are before and after the legislation has passed, and it does reflect that. Absolutely.
So that's good. And go ahead. And you said your name was Luisa?
Luisa.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure because when you spoke it so quickly, I'm like, I think I got it.
I'm sorry.
But no, go ahead. Tell us a little bit more from your perspective, what you do and everything, your outreach to the women. Is that right?
Yes. Well, Diego already spoke about did a good job describing what NPO does. But my role is to bring women together, reach as many women into because there are a lot of many women are going through this, and most of us feel isolated at some point.
Absolutely.
And many times also there's much more men who are I don't know, we want to make sure that everyone is represented. So I'm trying to reach to all the women I can and support them, and also through our organization that they can get the support they need, and also that they can bring in their own stories and they can also contribute to our movement.
I just wanted to add, I do already have 50-50 shared parenting with my child, and
how has it changed since getting it?
She's a lot happier now, just because she gets to stay at my house more overnights. And I don't have to go drop her off at the mom's house and do all that pick up and exchange. She just gets to stay more at home, and where she can be with myself, my wife, and her younger siblings, and they just have a blast. So that's that positive change that I've seen, and for the people that are out there fighting for it, it's much better than you could have ever imagined. It's just that overwhelming feeling. And when I eventually got that 50-50 time, I felt like I was on top of a mountain. After all the litigation, but then I thought I shouldn't have to do this just to get equal parenting. Justice, fairness. It shouldn't be there. And I thought, I was like, well, what about the rest of the people here in Texas? What if they don't have access to those type of funds to spend on attorneys? It shouldn't have to.
Should not be that way.
It shouldn't have to go down that route.
And people should not be getting rich off of this.
Exactly. That's the worst way to make money, by inflicting pain on other people to make a living. That's not dignified way of life, and it shouldn't be. The court system shouldn't be enabling these people.
Because maybe attorneys can say all sorts of really disgusting things about people to try to make them look bad. But now, in your instance, you're still fighting for 50-50 from what I gather? Or is it too late?
Unfortunately, I think it's too late because I didn't see my daughter for 8 years.
Got it.
And and the court system process lasted 6 years.
Wow.
So my daughter now has extended possession with me, but now she's been kind of, I don't know how to say it, but she's been
She's been brainwashed. A little bit.
Yeah, she's been brainwashed. So at this point, she wants nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
So the visits are extremely hard for both of us.
No, I got that.
And yeah, I'm just kind of trying to pick up the pieces and like try to heal my family the best I can at this point.
So we have a family counselor at our work who's been doing this for 40 plus years, and he said, Jeff, you know, what happens is this. When the children aren't living with you, you're always on thin ice. You're always on thin ice.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's not like there's solid ice beneath you, but it's thin ice. It can crack at any moment. And you know, there's nobody on the other side advocating for you.
Yeah.
Because really what should be happening is not just the idea of the 50-50, but you should be supporting the other parent.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And but the one thing that I find interesting is that you're not, you know, white Americans.
You know what?
White Americans. You know, because this is the white man. This is the racist. You know, but I mean, so are you both originally from Texas? Are you from other countries and came in here? I mean, what is your background?
I was born and raised in California. I moved to El Paso.
Okay.
And that's home for me now.
Right. Do you consider yourself Hispanic then, or I mean, I don't know.
I consider myself American.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. You spoke, but I guess the question that I wanted to ask is that, and maybe didn't come off so well, is that this is not just a white person problem.
No, it happens to everybody. Like in my case, well, I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
And I moved to the United States around the time time that I married. Well, for school first, and then around the time that I married. So as a young adult, I moved into the United States.
Yeah.
So yeah, this happens to many minorities. And
that's what I wanted to get to. Is that it happens to minorities. It's not just a United States phenomenon. It's happening in other countries as well. Is that what I hear you saying?
Oh, it happens to other countries, definitely.
I would imagine it happens in other countries also.
But you focus on America.
I focus on the United States and especially Texas.
Yeah.
And for my coworkers, I have a vast array of different people that I work with, and all my coworkers, when we start talking about the subject, it's always the same thing. Oh, well, Texas is a mother state. Well, the law says it can't be gender biased.
Yeah, it does say that. But the reality is and that's what makes it even harder when a mother does not have the children, because the first question is, what's wrong with her?
And that's one of the biggest barriers that I had to overcome, because everybody looks kind of down to a woman who doesn't have main custody. So, and that's why they were able to use that she's insane, there's something wrong with her, she's not enough, thing. And it was just widely accepted in the, it almost seemed like, I don't know, I felt helpless because I had to overcome that, and many, even friends and family would be like, oh, but, Texas likes the woman, to be, so I end up, struggling with that stigma.
Well, I hope to hear you both testify today.
Yes, absolutely.
It will be.
Wonderful. That's great to hear. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate all that you guys have done, that are doing, and that you came over here.
Yes.
And thank you so much. It's great meeting you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
For the
Bye now.
interview.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.